Hello, how are you? Today we are going to play CEASEFIRE, a game made by the University of Glasgow. And they say that the solution to world peace could be at our fingertips. Um, Basically, they have created a 2D video game where the objective is to find peace between two different factions. And the most interesting part is that the development team has been programming some analytics to track um, player players' decision making. So it is free, and let's see what it offers. I have not played it, so it is the first time. This game uses analytics, consent. Hi, I am your companion system. I'm here to support you through your negotiation journey. Okay? Welcome to the Blob universe, a parallel universe populated by blob-like beings who change shape according to their emotional states. Like humans, blobs attend school, form families, and work to meet basic survival needs. Having experienced periods of war and peace, blob governments have adopted human-made laws such as international humanitarian law and joined institutions such as the United Nations. Deep in the Blob universe, in Country T, a war is raging over the color teal. Teal represents an unidentified resource essential for survival that is now becoming scarce. Party O, a non-state armed group, has been locked in a 40-year battle with Party T, the state, for control of the Teal-rich region. Civilian Blobs have borne the brunt of the violence in this war over coal. Children's education has been severely impacted. Many schools have been damaged or destroyed, and students and teachers are afraid to travel to class. Both sides worry about a lost generation of children. Humans often travel to the Blob universe to support conflict mediation efforts. You are a negotiator with a humanitarian initiative for safe schools and the deputy commander responsible for Zero Troop Conduct has agreed to meet with you following a rigorous vetting process. You are now waiting for the deputy commander in a neutral location outside the Teal Ridge zone. Your mission is to secure Party Zero's agreement to a back-to-school ceasefire beginning on the first day of the school term. Your mission is to secure Party Zero's agreement to a back-to-school ceasefire beginning on the first day of the school term. Okay. You have been preparing for this meeting for weeks, developing your strategy and reviewing the international laws and political declarations relevant to protecting education in war. You will be supported in today's mission by the negotiator's toolbox, which contains helpful documents and tips. Here is an overview of the toolbox. It has four sections. That you can consult through the game. Click continue when you are ready to proceed. Ceasefire legal frameworks, political commitments and standards, negotiation strategy. As you make decisions in the meeting, you will receive toolbox prompts that might assist you. Before getting started, you must complete a self-check into confirm readiness. Are you ready to regulate your own emotions effectively in negotiation? Are you well rested? No, but I need to say yes. Have you eaten? Yes, I have had lunch just recently. Have you been working manageable hours? To be honest, I have been working. Yes. Do you feel supported by your organization? I don't know. Do you have simple strategies to rely on if tensions escalate? Pause, take a breath, drink water. Huh, maybe punch him in the face too? Does it count? Continue. Great. Let's take a quick look at the basic emotions your counterpart might display. View negotiator's toolbox or skip viewing. Okay, view. Here are the basic emotions your counterpart might display. Continue when ready. Recognizing and responding to the emotional cues of your counterpart will help you to form a more trusting and cooperative relationship. Remember, they will be watching your emotional cues too. Cooperative, like a circle, calculating and curious, guarded and cautious, suspicious and defensive, worried or hostile. Okay. School ceasefire hashtag is trending on social media. Let's seize this momentum and see if we can build rapport. The deputy commander is almost here. Would you like to review his profile? Yes, why not? Great. Click continue if you're done reviewing the deputy commander's profile. Age 36, okay. Rank and position, deputy commander, responsible for troop training conduct, okay, like a commander. Language, good command of English, right? He's not Spanish, just English, okay. Physical attributes, healthy, good fitness level, okay, so he's like Terminator. Marital status, married with children. Professional history before the conflict began, trained as a mechanical engineer. Oh, cool. Mm. Educational background, college graduate, view on education. It is crucial to the party's future, but girls should not attend school. Uh, that sounds that sounds nasty, isn't it? But girls should not attend school. That sounds a bit um, awful, horrible. Personality, confident, strong ego. Yeah, ego. Sensitive to perceived slights. Sensitive to perceived slights. Welcome. I agreed to the meet with you because I respect your organization and I like to think of myself as a humanitarian too. I want to be clear with you, Thaf. This war is party's T's fault and I don't have much to say until they return or our TL. Mhm. How will you get the conversation off? On the right foot, select from 3 dialogue options. I have come as an impartial humanitarian to apply my expertise to help your civilians who are suffering in these tense times. I understand that decreasing access to TIL is causing serious strain. I should not say that I am an expert because that could make him like hostile or um, cautious, like being worried that I mean he has a huge ego, a big ego. So I don't think that I should um, say that I am the expert because that sounds like he isn't the expert. That could hurt his ego. This war for TL has caused great suffering to your own brothers, causing pain that could be avoided. My organization can help improve living conditions here by using human-made methods and frameworks that benefit all those. Mm, okay, pain that could be avoided could sound good, and we can help. That sounds even better. Okay. Um, there are reports in the human war news media that this war is causing irreparable damage to your own civilians and infrastructure. We are here to offer support as you have not been able to meet your brother's needs. It sounds quite like saying that he is um, not behaving well with his own civilians, and that could be harmful with our relationship. So I should um, take a more um, cautious option and only say that we can help and we can improve and we are only wanting to help civilians. That's all. Your intentions are good here. But this might sound a bit out of touch. Okay. Oh, um, it means hostile. Okay. When I agreed to this meeting, I did not anticipate a lecture about frameworks. We need concrete support in our struggle for teal. Where were these frameworks when Party T first stole our teal and we cried out for help? Okay, so so he's saying that mm, our frameworks are not helpful and we were not when the war started. Okay, that's a point. That's a point, right? I don't need any of this. Continue. Would you like to review Party Zero's profile before you respond? Um, uh, 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 um, let's see. Mm, 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 mm. Profile. Would you like to review Party Zero's profile before you respond? Okay, yes. Um, goals. Goals. Reclaim disputed territory in which teal is abundant to ensure a steady supply of teal. Maintain perceptions of legitimacy amongst constituent communities. Okay, so they want resources and they want to be seen as the heroes. Okay, external pressures, image in international news media, threat of criminal prosecutions. Um, okay, okay, they are worried about international news media. Culture, religious, fairly conservative. Okay, conservative, religious, but view of conflict. They view the disputed region as belonging to them and see Party T as taking till that is rightfully theirs. That sounds interesting. Assessment of population needs. See that their own civilians are suffering and anxious about the war's long-term implications for their communities. Mhm. Familiarity with legal frameworks. The party has no specific written rules on protection of education. Commanders and high-ranking officers have completed some IHL training. Rank and file members will be less familiar. They may have different definitions of military use and attacks on schools. Oh. Hmm. View on education. Party Zero generally respects the importance of education and also actively provides education in areas under its control. So they like education. That sounds good. Gender. Both boys and girls attend school, but some members of Party Zero do not think girls should receive an education. Mhm. Child marriage is common in some areas governed by Party Zero. Oof, child marriage. That sounds nasty. And not going girls to school sounds horrible. Donors. They might be suspicious of your main government donor, who often pushes for criminal accountability. Uh, mhm. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. How would you like to respond? You are right. The silence was deafening in the past, but I want to work with you to determine what comes next. That sounds like an advertisement. There's no time to get into historical debates when both lives are on the line. The window for a peaceful resolution is closing. Mm, um, it sounds like trying to pressure him, and this one sounds like an advertisement. Let's see that the past is not so important as the future is. Okay, okay, let's go for that advertisement option. I think the bigger question to ask here is why are you coming to us with this? Have you seen what the other side is doing? I heard you've been talking to Party T. If you want to stop that suffering, you should focus on them. Oh. we are engaging with them too. Civilians are suffering on both sides, so both sides need to be part of the solution. That sounds like an advertisement. We are not here to take sides. That's uh, right. I'm a moderator, okay, a negotiator. We are here because innocent probes, including your own, are caught in the middle. Every probe life deserves protection. Mhm. If you believe the other side is at fault, all the more reason to work with us to protect your civilians. Making the first move towards peace, however small, could send a powerful message. This one sounds horrible because telling a person with a lot of ego to make the first move towards peace could um, um, be interpreted like we want him to be weak uh, um, so he could understand that we want to decrease his power. So not third option, not this option. We are neutral. It sounds good, helpful, right? Innocent sounds a good word. In the middle sounds like neutral. Every prop life deserves protection. It sounds good. It sounds good. First one is a little bit too much advertisement. Um, so not sites, not sites. Every life matters, sure, but we've lost more than you can imagine. Yet we are still standing. By the way, have you seen the beautiful fountain? Oh, zero communities built to celebrate my legacy. Oh, a beautiful fountain. A beautiful fountain. So he is asking me if I have seen a fountain built to celebrate his legacy. Okay. Um, what question would you like to open with? Can you tell me about the situation with children's education? How are things going in the disputed region now? Ah, children's education is a good question. I would like to understand more about what is at stake in the struggle over till. Can you tell me? First option sounds a bit cheesy, a bit too much pressure for him to answer. Second one sounds more like I am trying to get information in a neutral way. I want to understand why teal resource is so critical for the countries. So okay, can you tell me? It's important that you understand what is on the line for us in this war over teal. If our crops do not have sustainable access to teal, we will cease to exist. When when the supply of teal suddenly reduced 2 years ago, a previously peaceful region became a combat zone. Party T denies that the teal has always belonged to us. We have only acted to stop the encroachment. But why is it important? Um, so it is like water, like very needed. Okay. Mm, and it is very scarce, very few of teal. Mm, uh-huh. So they think that this resource belongs to them. Okay. Okay. Would you like to review the Islands of Agreement negotiation strategy before proceeding? Uh, yes, why not? Your counterpart may not embrace the facts and norms that seem right and true to you as a humanitarian negotiator. Use the CCH Islands of Agreement approach to identify. Which facts are likely to be agreed upon contested? Which norms are likely to be convergent divergent? When you meet with your counterpart, start the dialogue with points of factual agreement. For example, children are suffering in the armed conflict. That sounds logical. Clarify contested facts. For example, what is specifically causing the threats to education? Ah, okay, so asking questions about contested facts. Underlying convergent values and norms. For example, children deserve a bright future. Children have not caused the conflict. Be prepared to negotiate on issues for which norms diverge. For example, girls' access to education, military use of schools. Okay, okay. How would you like to respond? Regardless of how and why this war began, there is compelling evidence that zero troops have indiscriminately targeted educational facilities in the disputed region, even while classes were in session. Mm, 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 no, that sounds horrible. I do not want to minimize the very real fears zero probes are facing as steel runs out, but the United Nations reports that both sides are attacking schools. Your own probes have been harmed this way. It sounds okay. Okay. Mm. I understand the stakes are very high. I have also seen reports that thousands of zero students and teachers have been injured and even killed. Is it true your child perhaps haven't been to school in 18 months? Mm, I would go for this one because it is a question, like a valid question, um, and I am interested of about their civilians and not mentioning the other faction. Oh, he's happy. Okay. That's right. Those probs who still have school and left are too afraid Party T will target them if they make the journey. Many teachers have fled. Surely there is something you humanitarians can do to improve things. So many of the children of Party Zero are afraid that they could be killed if they go to school, and teachers also. So we can help them, okay? Let's go. He is revealing more as trust is growing, okay? Okay. Would you like to engage in some small talk with the deputy commander? Uh, let's go. Let's go. Um, mm, 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 for some small talk, okay. Um, why not? Okay. Reading these reports about the war's impact on children, it got me thinking about my own family. My youngest child turned 5 last week. How about you? Do you have children? Yeah, he has children. But okay. My wife and my wife and I have 3 child probes and a baby probe on the way. My youngest is the same age as your child, actually. Family is my number one priority, okay? Oh, that's wonderful. We just sent our daughter off to her first day of school. She wants to be a doctor one day. Uh-huh. That could be a good answer. New baby coming. What a gift. I hope that your wife is doing well. I don't see that like a good answer. I feel the same way about the importance of family. That's why I'm also concerned about the broad families that are suffering in this conflict. I think it is the most convenient option because I am empathizing with him, but I am also relating this small talk with the later peace objective. So let's go. A bit heavy for small talk. It is Party T who started this whole mess. Speaking of suffering, my troops are hungry. I hear you are giving food to civilians. What have you bragged for us? For us? That must be really hard for your troops. Maybe it's something we could discuss afterwards. Okay. I'm sorry, but we have a policy to not give food to fighting groups, only to civilians. I think that the second option is not as good as the first one. I mean, I should try to be like polite, but without offering help for their troops. So maybe it's something we could discuss afterwards. Good. You must have noticed in his profile that he is a bit sensitive. Okay. So tell me, what exactly can I do for you today? Would you like to refresh on the islands of agreement negotiation strategy before proceeding? Yes, of course. So start the dialogue with points of factual agreement, clarify contested facts, underline converging values and norms, be prepared to negotiate on issues for which norms diverge. Okay. Okay. How would you like to respond? Can you tell me a bit more about education in the disputed area? Have zero and T student probes always gone to separate schools? That's a good question. Let's discuss attacks on schools. Are you familiar with international humanitarian laws rules about selecting targets? That sounds horrible. Education or international laws? Education. Our child probes used to go to school together, but we started our own school so we could teach our values and language. This was a nice decision to start with facts that are not contested. He is relaxed. Ooh, I see. And when the war over Teal began, how did your party perceive those schools belonging to Party T? But this means some of the damaged schools on T's site used to be attended by O blobs. Mm, 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 I think that the second option is more balanced because I am interested by zero faction, zero team, zero army, zero people. Okay. Their schools are fair game in this war. Certainly the ones in the disputed region and along the boundary. Uh, mm, 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 mm. Uh, 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 uh. Uh-huh. Mm. Would you like to review relevant IHL rules? Right. Um, um, General protection of civilian objects. Okay. Geneva Convention. Civilian objects are all objects which are not military objectives. That sounds logical. Military objectives are limited to those objects which, by their nature, location, purpose, or use, make an effective contribution to military action. That sounds okay. Uh-huh. In case of doubt, or a school. A school shall be presumed not to be used. Okay, so schools are obviously not military targets. Principle of distinction. Distinguish between the civilian population and combatants and between civilian objects and military objective. Okay, that's okay. Okay, distinction. Civil is not the same as military. Okay. Indiscriminate Incidental loss of civilian life, injury to civilian, damage to civilian objects, military advantage. Or applications, objectives to be attacked, means and methods, incidental loss of civilian life, application against the effects of attacks, remove the civilian population, vicinity of military objectives. Um, mm, Okay. This brings up a few IHL targeting rules. Are you familiar with concepts like distinction or precaution in attack? This seems like it could be a really important issue to sit down with Party T and discuss how you each understand what makes a school legitimate target. What do you think? School is not a legitimate target, but I don't think that he could sit down with Party T. EHL, he knows EHL, or he does not. Oh, let me see. Okay, negotiation, understanding, profile of party tal, gender donors. The party commanders are have completed some training. Okay. So he's familiar. He's familiar, but I could ask him if he's familiar or not. So let's go. So far, so good. Principle of distinction, I know, but trust me, those schools aren't civilian. And when you are not sure, you have to go with your gut. Uh, it sounds fair, okay? Not exactly. Not exactly. There is a customary rule of international law that says in case of doubt about whether a civilian object like school is being used for military purposes, you must assume it is not being so used. In other words, it is protected. Actually, if you are in doubt about whether something that is normally civilian like a school is protected, the law says that you must treat it as protected. The first one is more like, okay, maybe a bit wordy. Well, we didn't agree to all that. You know, it's Party T's job to sign all those treaties and the Geneva Conventions. Look at how they behave. Okay, I understand, but there might be some measures you could agree to that would help protect civilians from harm. It doesn't sound so confident. Which side's civilian jobs are you talking about protecting? Well, that's a good question. Um, Political declarations on protection. Okay. What? What? What is that? Nah, too much text. Okay. How would you like to respond? I was hoping we could speak more about students and teachers from zero communities and the safety of your own public schools. I want to talk to you about how you are turning your schools into legitimate targets. Uh, are you familiar with the Safe Schools Declaration? It's part of a global framework that protects education in war and addresses military use of schools. Maybe speak about students and teachers. Okay. Good. Yes. Right now, a lot of the schools that are left standing are empty. Child probes are too afraid to attend. Okay, that's logical. And what exactly are they afraid of? Things going on inside or threats by T forces? Could this be because your party is using the schools? Oof, that second, the school for military operations. That second option is nasty. So let's go for one. Careful. This might be seen as accusatory. What exactly do you mean by things going on inside? I mean, some of your forces might be present or using the schools for trainings, detention, that kind of thing. No. Maybe this is something that you can help me understand. Are you present? Okay. Good recovery. I'm pretty sure we don't do that if grasses are running, just when they are empty buildings. Every resource helps. That sounds true. Would you like to see how the Safe Schools Declaration deals with abandoned schools? Yes. Functioning schools not be used by the fighting force. Mhm, mhm, mhm. While the use of a school by the fighting forces of parties to armed conflict in support of the military effort may turn it into a military objective subject to attack, parties to armed conflict should consider feasible alternative measures before attacking. Mhm. Uh-huh, I understand. Okay. How would you like to respond? Even if abandoned, schools must always remain civilian in character. No exceptions. The Safe Schools Declaration provides that abandoned schools should not be used for the military force unless there are extenuating circumstances. Um, okay, let's go for this exception. Oh, he's happy. We would always try our best, but sometimes these things can't be helped. You've seen what we are up against. I understand, but maybe we could come up with a few options together that wouldn't sacrifice your military strategy. I'm all in favor of discussing options, but as long as this war over here continues, Party T can't be trusted. That's exactly why this school is could be important. I share your fears of a lost generation of children if the war over till continues much longer. Okay, okay. Yes. The deputy commander has been sent an alert from a social media platform. Has been sent. Okay. An influential government has called for Party O to be listed in the UN Secretary's annual report on grave violations against children in armed conflict, citing evidence about their attacks on schools. Citing evidence about their attacks on schools. Oof. Uh-oh. Would you like to review toolbox materials on UN monitoring and children and armed conflict agenda? Um, no, no. The deputy commander is agitated. How will you respond? There's a lot of misinformation and propaganda on this war. If you have someone in your party looking into this particular post, I'm sure they will find that it is not worth paying attention to. That could be interesting. I have not seen this post and I have no idea if this is true. It's true, the government in question is one of our donors. Uh-huh. But my organization never collaborates with accountability mechanism. We are not here to denounce you. I did not want to pursue this issue today out of respect, but now that it has come up, we should talk about these grave violations. If it is proven that your troops have attacked schools that were protected civilian objects, you might be seen as war criminals. That sounds like hostile. We are not here to denounce you. Mhm. Um, so first or second. I think the most balanced one is that uh, um, I'm sure they will find that it is not worth paying attention to, but we are not here to denounce you, okay? You are being quite honest here and forthright. Let's see what he does. If what you say is true, that would put me at ease, but I don't see how you can fairly present yourself as a neutral humanitarian if you are taking their funding. They don't have the right intentions in our country. This listing is only part of it. The deputy commander is still here. Okay. Let's gradually steer the conversation towards the topic of a ceasefire. Would you like to first review ceasefire definitions? Yes, why not? What is a ceasefire? Temporary suspension of hostilities. For example, to facilitate peace talks, it might or might not be linked to a future peace agreement. What is a humanitarian ceasefire? The fighting is temporarily stopped for a specific humanitarian purpose. For example, to allow the delivery of aid or vaccines. Okay. What do you have to say? I know that Party O wants to get students and teachers back in the classroom for the start of term. Are you open to talking about the potential back to school ceasefire, which could include conditions such as protecting schools, civilian objects? I do like the idea of schools opening as usual this year. It would give our children a sense that they can build a good future here. But I don't think Party T can be trusted to uphold any kind of agreement. Well, limited ceasefire like this could help to build confidence between the parties. You could find out through experience that both sides can trust each other. Okay, I'm open to this idea, but I need to make sure my people don't have to give up the struggle for TIA. I am being realistic here about what the commander will sign. We could talk about something very specific and concrete, like immediately vacating schools of all troops. Of course, we are not talking about a peace deal here yet. There are different ways to limit a school ceasefire in time. You could set it for 30, 60, 19 days. Mm, immediately or 4 days. Mm, 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 uh, 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 uh. I don't know what is the best option. Um, um, immediately. Okay. I like this idea of something limited and specific. If Party T stopped using schools to target us, it would make a difference. Close the deal. How do you want to frame a possible agreement? Fantastic. Let's get a draft version of this back to school ceasefire ready for your commander to review. Excellent. What would you like to call the arrangement, and when should it start? Yes, let's make him to name the arrangement title and when it should start. Let's go with back to school ceasefire. That's something the commander could put his name on. Great. And the deadline, beginning on the first day of the school, could really send a message. Let's set it for midnight before the first day of school, lasting 90 days to get a full school charming. Great, let's write this up. We can lay out various conditions, like agreeing to not target schools and school routes and not use schools for military purposes. School repair could be discussed later. Mhm. I think this is going to be well received. Let's do it. Excellent work. It was smart to involve him in scoping the deal. Mhm. There's an opportunity for you to unlock the possibility of achieving even more ambitious objectives, possibly aiding even more civilians in the process. Would you like to explore? Before you decide, would you like to review your self-checking? My self-checking? Um, okay. So there's an opportunity for you achieving even more. Da, 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 da. No, no thanks. No thanks. No, no thanks. I don't want to push my luck. I've accomplished I've accomplished what I came here to do. Your call. Let's get that brief ready for headquarters. Okay. Your brief is now due to headquarters. Please complete the following questions. What? What? Uh, the till symbolize call. What in this negotiation? Would you have acted differently? No, no, no. What? What is this? No. What? Would you have acted differently? Till symbolize gold in this negotiation. Would you have acted differently? No. No. Now is your chance to write any feedback. Thank you for completing your score 830. Exceptional breakthrough, deep trust, and minimal friction. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Interesting, interesting. So we have ended ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire. Good, interesting project, interesting project. I will put the link on the description to play it. So goodbye.